We have a quick update here from the guy last week who was a hero. We had him in our Heroes and Zeros segment. If you missed this video, it was really amazing. A woman was standing next to her car. A child she was caring for, she's the great aunt of the child, was in a stroller next to the car. And a gust of wind comes along, and the stroller starts to head toward heavy traffic, coming at like 45, 50 miles an hour. And out of nowhere, and the woman falls and can't get up and can't go get the baby. And out of nowhere, a guy comes running in and grabs a stroller at the last possible second. It was a pretty amazing video. It really was.
It's like Superman stuff.
Yeah, it was.
It's so many elements, it's obviously the danger, the heroism, but that poor woman's fall.
That's all I focus on.
She falls and she gets up and falls again, and then it's just like she just kind of reaches her hand out impotently toward the receding carriage, thinking the worst.
That's right. And but she cannot get up. I mean, she keeps
wearing a long dress. She keeps tripping over her dress or something.
No, I don't think so.
I think it was just issues with getting up and down.
Oh, I see.
She
was older.
Agility and mobility.
Okay, right. She was older. She wasn't in the best of shape.
I see.
So she couldn't get up. Well, the guy who saved the baby had been at a job interview at Applebee's, and he had been homeless. He was working his way back from being homeless, and was at the interview, was coming out the front door of the Applebee's, saw the stroller, and just ran over and saved the baby. The update is he got the job at Applebee's. Yes. It's official. He said it.
Thank you very much. Well, got the job at Applebee's.
All right.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Thank you, people. I appreciate everything, guys.
That's it. So now he has a new lease on life.
You know what? This always is one of those scenarios.
Right.
You got to give him the job.
Yeah.
Even if he's completely...
He may have had the worst job interview of all time.
Mm-hmm.
You have
to now. Like,
yep.
As soon as he leaves, you're like, God. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That guy is an idiot.
The manager turns to a coworker and says, by law, how long do I have to hold on to this application before I can shred it?
Yeah, I don't even know what he's doing here. And then you look in the parking lot.
Is that what's going on?
Is he running in the parking lot?
Is that a stroller?
Did he steal from us before he left?
What is that? What's he doing?
People come barging in. That guy you just interviewed, he just saved a baby. And you're like,
he did not.
Oh, no.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Mm-hmm. So you have to hire him, and I know your mindset. You can never fire him.
No.
I don't care what he's doing.
Yeah.
You cannot fire him.
You can't ever. You just got to help him every time he's putting in a 2 for 25.
I wonder if he's kitchen or if he's in the dining room.
I think I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's running things to the wrong table.
Doesn't matter.
No. Yeah.
You said he could take a crap in the parking lot. Would not matter. You keep him
for
on.
1 year, 2 years,
1 year.
I mean, you save a baby in heroic fashion.
At least 1 year. Yeah. You poop in that parking lot, you keep that job.
Yeah.
I don't care what happens.
You are consistently taking boneless wings to the wrong table, but I cannot fire you.
I will not fire you. There is a woman today you talk about disgusting. There's a woman today claiming that her neighbors never use the bathroom in their own house. She's in Arkansas, and she has finally gotten KATV, their On Your Side reporter, to come out.
Good.
They take their feces in buckets and dump it at the back of their property and then across the street at other people's property. And she says this has been going on for a long, long time. They just dump it all over the place. And she doesn't know why. She's confronted them. They have not changed their ways. And so finally she had to call the news about this to try and get some publicity for it. This is the woman.
They've been taking their feces in buckets and dumping it at the back of their property and then across the street at another person's property. They've been dumping it on their property too. And they've been doing this now for about 3 years. Everybody around them have sold their houses, which are leaving the ones that are still left here to just to sit and suffer.
That's Pulaski County, Arkansas. Can the police not do anything about this? I mean, is this...
How's that not a hazard?
It's got to be.
It is.
There should be tons of laws.
What you would think
against
there's
this.
a law on the books against this.
Well, you don't have to have running water in your home, do you? I mean, can you still build an outhouse?
I bet you could, yeah.
I mean, on your property, if you dug the hole deep enough.
Just poop into a hole?
Well,
yeah. As long as you're sheltered and there's like a little...
Many years ago on this show, there was a story about an outhouse, and we had lots of calls from people who still had outhouses. Now, this was 10 or 12 years ago, but still, there were outhouses still around quite a bit then. But this person just dumps feces on his back property, you know?
Is there something wrong?
Are they claiming it's fertilizer, or are they just doing this to be aggressive to drive away the neighbors?
Well, my thing is something wrong with the plumbing and they can't afford it and they don't want to admit it, or
Maybe that's it. Craig said this woman said her family's home is 300 feet outside of North Little Rock city limits, and she said she had to go to the county to see if they could help stop it. They're trying to step in now. Pulaski County, that was the woman you just heard from. She said, "I've gotten sick when the wind blows. When you're down, it's awful.
Yeah,
you can only imagine. I mean, that's human feces, filth, foul.
Of course, back in the day, that's the way it was.
Yeah, but you buried it. You didn't dump it.
That's what I mean.
And that was back in the day.
Yeah, you probably didn't have a lot of neighbors either.
They do say the Department of Health says connection to a public sewer system is required in all homes and businesses when the point where sewer exits the building is located within 300 feet of access to the public sewer, and they're trying to find out if this is indeed illegal.
Well, I hope the reporter knocked on the defender's door.
We didn't. They did not. Either they didn't or they wouldn't
talk.
talk. Maybe. God. Either that, or they didn't talk. Exactly. And the question is why? Why are you dumping your...
How inconvenient. More than anything.
That's as inconvenient as it gets.
When you go, you can't keep it with you. You've got to take it out immediately.
Take the 5-gallon bucket out.
That's right. You think it's Lowe's or Home Depot?
It's horrible.
On the outside.
Well, you really wouldn't want your logo on either one.
We don't want to endorse it. They don't need endorsements.
No, you would not want your logo on either of those. This is a story. So 2023. We should ask Lisa Lanier about this. A judge has weighed in on it. This is a story you wouldn't have heard of probably 10 or 15 years ago. A trans woman will not be charged for flashing her male genitalia inside a locker room at a YMCA, even though several people have said it was done intentionally. So this woman is changing sexes, but still has male genitalia, and was charged in Ohio with flashing them at several people inside a locker room. This was a year and a half ago that this happened. Well, now it's gone all the way through the court system. And do you know the reason that she's not being charged? And we've heard of this defense before. She and her defense attorney said she's too fat for the genitalia to be seen, and the judge agreed. You cannot, she just flashed it. The people in the locker room said she would just open her robe and flash.
There's nothing there?
And they say she's so large that the stomach was over the genitalia. And the judge agreed and said, you're right, there is no seeing that.
Is that what it comes to?
That's what it has come to. Haven't there been people who have claimed I'm too fat to have, or my...
That couldn't be my genitalia. Mine's micro.
Mine's too small. That kind of thing.
I couldn't have done X crime because look at this.
That's right.
And they did.
That's right.
Don't make me say it, but here's a selfie, Your Honor.
Oh my God.
Well,
you're right.
Now I don't know much about this case.
What a story!
But when you say the word flash, now that implies trying to get some. Is the person simply changing, or is this a flash?
3 different people said she was in the women's locker room with male genitalia, where apparently she's allowed by the rules of the YMCA. And they said, all 3 women said she intentionally did this, to show it.
Take a look.
Right.
That just seems odd.
So she said. So they said, all 3 different women. One of the women was told by the front desk, don't worry about it. She's actually a woman. Don't worry about it. And the judges ruled that since the YMCA allowed her to use the women's locker room and her gut was too large to expose her genitals, there were no grounds to charge her, so they dismissed the case. And it went all the way to a courtroom to the judge. The woman's name is Rachel. She is transgender but has not undergone the gender reassignment surgery yet and is allowed to use the women's locker room, even though she is technically still has male genitalia.
I don't like that.
Oh, yeah.
You're against?
Yeah, I think she should have been charged. I mean, whether you can see it or not, the intent was to show it.
Well, so they say, but it might just be 3 women not wanting this transgender person in their locker. Locker. That is the hot issue. You're right. Spokesperson for the YMCA say they will not investigate an individual's birth identity and then assign individuals to those locker rooms. You just go where, if you're a woman and you claim to be a woman, you go to that locker room.
I'm sure people's heads are spinning. Sure. Look at Bud Light. They're in the middle of something that didn't even. Yeah. They never expected.
It's a touchy issue for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, what bathroom, what locker room is this person supposed to use before they have the reassignment surgery? What a strange. I mean, but then you add in the gut on top of it.
Yeah, the flashing and the gut.
Mm-hmm. The flashing and the gut.
Yeah.
That's our new podcast, Biggie.
Who's the flashing?
The flashing
Who's
is
the gut?
The flashing. The flash gut.
Not terrible.
I'm the gut.
Polygirl Cassie would want to comment on this. Yes, Polygirl Cassie, go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm trans, and I want to say that if this person did that intentionally for the purpose of flashing, throw the
book
flipping book at them.
Throw the book at 'em,
that's just, that does not represent your average trans community. That's the stuff that makes the news, that gives us a bad name, and that just pisses me off.
Right. Now, she says that's not the case, but the other women...
She's just changing.
Yeah, the other women say that. But the other women might just have an agenda of just not wanting her in that locker room.
Maybe.
You don't know. But the thing that put it over the top was, no way you could have seen it anyway. The gut was too big. What a defense.
But those other women didn't ask her to flash, did they?
No.
They didn't say, we want to look under your robe or...
Well, they didn't say that. They were upset. They went to the front desk and said, hey, look
You
what...
can't be flashing
look
people,
what happened.
man.
Yeah, you're not supposed... Yeah, of course, you're not supposed to do that, obviously. Here's another strange story. This is sort of sports dirt as well. The Boston Red Sox were playing the Philadelphia Phillies this weekend. They had a 3-game series. And in the first game of the series, 2 pitchers remained on the field after the national anthem played because they both, that's their tradition, and I guess they all have, there's a lot of superstition in baseball. So
I know baseball players do it the most. They try to, it's like it's a competition to see who can stay on the field the longest.
Yes, that's right. So the Phillies player and the Red Sox player both stayed out there for a pretty good while. The national anthem had played. The starting lineups had been announced, and Kyle Schwarber was getting ready to come, or he was announced last, and then the opening hitter for the Red Sox was getting ready to come to the plate. The players are Red Sox pitcher Cutter Crawford and Phillies left-hander Matt Strahm. Finally, they both stood out there so long, the umpire ejected them both. Wow.
You can't just stand on the field during play.
No. They were standing out like in front of the dugout, both of them. And there's video now of it swinging from one side to the other, each dugout. And they're both just standing.
They generally have their hands like their hat over their heart facing the flag.
They did.
Generally.
They both did. And they were looking at each other like, all right,
come on,
let's go.
Who's it going to be?
So we had a 4-minute standoff between the 2 players. And finally the umpire's like, these guys.
Play ball.
Come on.
Superstition. That's bad luck. No, you've got some bad luck.
I think Chris Demm's right that you want to be the last off the field.
Yeah.
Some people want that thing. Yeah,
I've seen it at the college level more so.
Yeah,
than the big leagues.
So if you have a teammate that wants to be last off the field too, do you just agree to go in at the same time? I don't even know how that would work. But these two just stared at each other like, how dare you stand here longer than I do? Yeah.
So it's in the same vein of not shaving and wearing the same socks every game or something like that.
I guess.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But you're also trying to one-up the other team.
Yeah. And so neither one of them would leave. Finally, the umpire said, we got to start this game. He kicked both of them out. The pitch clock was starting. So he's like, the batter's got to get in the box.
Game on.
You got to go. And that was it. And now Major League Baseball is considering fining both of them, too, for standing out there, which I wouldn't mind, honestly.
You don't want that to run rampant.
I know. It's crazy. This is a crazy story, too. This is like Home Alone. A woman traveling from Philadelphia to Jacksonville, Florida, wound up in Jamaica because of a mistake. She used the bathroom right at the last minute. And as she said,
Not uncommon.
Not uncommon. That's right.
my thing.
You like to go?
Yeah, I don't like an airplane bathroom.
Yeah, nobody does.
I prefer the terminal.
Oh,
right before you get on.
I totally agree. Man, I had a pickleball bathroom issue this week.
What do those look like? Pickleball bathrooms.
Well, okay.
How are they different from a regular bathroom?
Well, you can't put your feet over the line. You have to piss from 5 feet away.
Practice. I never pee any closer than 5 feet.
You don't pee in the kitchen?
No, you can't. I never, even when I'm at home or at work, I never pee 5 feet or less from the...
and it's unentertaining to watch. Much like pickleball.
That's right.
It's impressive, but
that's right.
Well, you have leakage.
It's core strength. It's core strength, and you have to have it. If you don't have core strength, what do you have?
You got to arch that S.
Exactly right.
Does it do it on its own, or do you have to push?
Well, at first you have to push, but then
Once she's going.
after time, now I'm so good at it, I can do it hands-free.
You'll drizzle at the end.
And that is a kitchen violation. If you drip in the kitchen, that's a kitchen violation.
Should be.
The poor Diesel, he got stuck behind the guy singing the national anthem in a big line to go to the bathroom. But I snuck out and found one somewhere else, and I found a bathroom that was all by itself. That's no.
Wait a minute.
What's that?
They sing the anthem.
Oh yeah,
at a pickleball tournament.
Oh yeah. To start the day, we all stood with our hats over our hearts and visors over our hearts, and the anthem was played. Salutes were given.
Paddle behind back.
Meanwhile, right after it was over, it was right before our first match, Diesel had a hard time getting to the bathroom, but I found one. Like Chris Demm I wanted to make sure I had used the bathroom before we started, and I did. This woman, same way. She's getting on a flight now. She's going to Jacksonville, Florida from Philadelphia, Beverly Ellis Hubbard, Frontier Airlines. And she read the gate, Philadelphia to Jacksonville, and she said, "This is my gate." They said, "Yes." She goes, "Do I have time to use the bathroom?" Because the flight was getting ready to go. She goes in and uses the bathroom. When she comes out, they're like, "You got to get on this plane immediately." So they ushered her onto the plane. They just like raced her in, got the tickets done, and she's on the plane. Well, in the meantime, no one had notified her. The flight for her gate had changed, and she got on a flight accidentally to Jamaica and had no passport, and she landed in Jamaica. It's very much like Home Alone 2. Do you remember that? Where they got trying to get on, where they got on the plane. It's Lost in New York. He goes to New York, and it's because they rushed her on, and she used the bathroom last minute. And she said, "How does this happen? I don't even have a passport." So she got to Jamaica and was like, "I'm supposed to be in Jacksonville." And she had to tell him, this is the woman talking about it.
I laughed. I said, "Oh, I would love to be going there, but I have a beach where I live." And she said, "Look at me. This plane is going to Jamaica. You're entering a country without a passport. Should never have happened because I do not have a passport." The woman at the gate did not do her job.
That's a fact. They raced her onto the plane, and she said the last-minute bathroom visit was the issue. They had apparently just recently changed the.
That's a last-minute change.
That was brutal. I think they had already changed and didn't put the signage up, and then when she got out of the bathroom, they rushed her on. Don't you think?
But on an international flight. Mm-hmm. They're supposed to check your passport and scan your ticket.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's right. The gate agent screwed up.
So Jamaica, you have to have a passport.
Yeah.
I thought so. Frontier Airlines has issued an apology to Beverly Ellis Hubbard for the unfortunate incident. And they have also, as a gesture, issued her a $600 voucher to go anywhere she would like to go in the continental U.S.
So what did she do when she landed in, Montego Bay or Negril?
I would bet she just
sit on the plane.
Yeah, really. Can't leave the airport.
Can't get off.
Turn around, go back.
It's an international incident.
That is.
You can get into the airport in that little confined area, can't you? They let you off the plane, but you can't leave.
Maybe, but you can't leave the gate.
She got off the plane, and the flight crew stayed with her until the next flight to Philadelphia departed 6 hours later. So she was in the airport, and they made sure she was in the right place and got her back and apologized profusely and got her on that flight to Philadelphia.
I can't believe Frontier flies to Jamaica.
Yeah, I guess so. Philadelphia to, what's the...
I thought Frontier was just like a West Coast.
Kingston, Jamaica? Is that where they got?
I don't know where the big airport is. You've been. Is it Montego or Kingston?
It's both, but I think it's Montego Bay for the resorts. Mm-hmm. Kingston is like the capital of Jamaica. Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure which one she landed, but she wound up landing in Jamaica and then getting off the plane, turning around, coming back.
I don't want to go to Jamaica. Well, sweetie, you are.
No passport.
Can you imagine? Well, that would really freak you out.
Where if she'd have had her passport, I mean,
then she could stay. Yeah. Well, I got to find a hotel or
where were her bags?
Her bags
on the right plane,
or on the correct plane that went to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So she had to get those back, and then she got to Philadelphia and still had to fly to Jacksonville because that's where she was.
No bags.
Yeah, that's why she was going in the first place. So it was a whole round.
That's a mess.
Exactly. Oh,
it's a mess.
That big time.